back to another episode of Picton's Northern Star floaty boaty thingy. This episode here, a bit of a clean up, bit of a tidy up, some odd little jobs, preparation for getting the floor hatches back down, the carpet, and getting ready for use, which I'm hoping we're going to go out and have a little bit of a play next weekend. So stick around and see where we go from here. Hopefully I'll get some updated footage of us using the boat, casting off and going out for a bit of a play in the sound. So yeah, hold on to your seats. Good afternoon. You probably stopped learning a wee bit of Scottish Gaelic. Bit of a tough language to learn, but the only way you get to remember various phrases is by repeating them. So just down the boat, obviously, taking off the very expensive exhaust cap there. Going to run the motor, going to have a bit of a clean up today, sort out some of the stuff, take that battery back with me. I've given that away to somebody that can use it more than I need it. And yeah, a bit of a clean up, bit of water on the bilge. Unfortunately I left one of the wee hatch covers open there. The one with the aft cabin was slightly up. We've had a couple of spots of heavy rain over the week since I was last down. And yeah, so going to have a bit of a clean up and start to feel a little bit sorted. I want to also have a bit of a vacuum down there in the engine room and look at getting the floor back down in preparation for maybe getting her off the mooring next week. But what I'm going to do anyway is I'm going to fire up in a minute and run the engine for a bit. Doing that doesn't make an ounce of difference other than making sure the accelerator cable is working and it's free. Right, next step, make sure it's out of gear. Always like to make sure it's out of gear so I'm not trying to start the engine with it in gear. I can only imagine the damage you could do to the engine by doing that all the time, trying to start it under load. First time the engine's been started for about 2 to 3 weeks, so she was pretty cold. Hoping she'll get a little bit better, a bit more lively and responsive once I start using the boat a bit more often. I decided to run it in gear for a bit. For a while forward at various revs and also in reverse. Working. That's good. Need to get out and work out how to run the autopilot. Doing tricks of the trade. I haven't quite got my head around that yet, but obviously with not being used I haven't had much of a chance to do that, so yeah, just hoping. see I didn't really have a clue at all just pushing buttons and fiddling. I recall the motor tend to idle at around 400 RPM. I decided to run her in gear for a bit at various low speeds. I didn't want to go too high on the old rev count. I didn't want to cause damage by ripping a cleat off the pontoon or damaging the boat or breaking a springer. You can see the black one there is quite loose because of some forward. That other one there a little bit tighter. I actually damaged the side of the scupper there by putting it in reverse to flick a bit of crap off the prop, which I could see was working by the stuff that was floating up on the starboard side of the boat when I did that. A bit of algae and a bit of seaweed. Now the scupper amidship is one I'm talking about. I need to enlarge that a little bit. It's going to be an ongoing problem. The springers there are hard up against the aft end of the scupper, and it's going to be an ongoing problem otherwise. A quick check of the prop shaft. I don't know if you can see it spinning there, but everything seems to be good. We'll turn everything off and start cleaning. Hell of a mess starting to get there. Now the rubbish sorted out. I've got a box of electrical bits and goodies and things in there I'm going to put out of the way, keeping it dry out of anything. Starting to get there down there a little bit. I have to empty that bilge water container today as well, but I need to go and find out what the code is for the gate. To get that floor down tomorrow, vacuum that out. I've got these parts here, a bit of thickening, I'll put all of that on there as well. Here's some cable ties to roll up the shrink wrap, keep that out of the way and I'll put that somewhere safe, and put all the electrical bits and bobs and everything into this toolbox that I had sitting in the boat. Keep that out of the way as well and make it easier to access. Have a bit of a vacuum up down in the engine room there as much as I can. Probably need to get some sort of rust kill or neutraliser for certain parts of the engine there. Just give it a bit of a spray, protect it, but I don't want to create a lot of fume down there. So I did a little bit of research on that. Well, tomorrow I come down, being Sunday, I'm going to call in and pick up some brackets, bracket that up, get out of the way, hit the bilge pump properly so that, well, temporarily properly, so at least it's functioning. I can get the seats and the floor back down. And go and pick some cable up and some bus bars. At least that'll be a start to getting that sorted into there, getting the electric sorted, and I'll just add to it as I can afford it, to the lights and all that sort of thing, new cables and everything, bit by bit by bit, and then I can start to get the insulation done over the top of it and then hook up eventually and start disconnecting those switches down there, labelling, tying up and being tidy as I go. So, fun and games. Hot, dirty and smelly yet again. The tools and electrical tool case there, all in there, soldering iron stuff there, other tools, so looking pretty reasonable down here. I do want to actually create a box under here. There'll be some other good storage, some dry storage, a lot of room under there. Righty, hey, let's probably had enough for today, I think. I don't quite know why those were lifted up. Ouch! Yeah, there's a ballast there. That little fan going, a solar fan. Solar vent, I believe it's capable of moving about 29 cubic metres of air an hour. It has a battery in it so that it can keep going at night and run during the day and night. Try and get a little bit of air coming in and out of the boat while it's sitting on the mooring. Potentially another one at some stage in here. It's recirculating in that to try to keep it from getting too condensated and keep the temperature the same inside as it is outside. Now you'd think, looking at that, you undo that, take the screws out of that, that's the cover, vents around there, you'd think that that would be nice to sit flush, don't you? So that, but oh no, oh dear me, we've got to actually have a flange in there of some description, which is a pain in the backside. Looking forward to getting that floor down. It's and screwing with my head. I've just called into Odie's Marine Chandlery at Waikawa. Picked up some of those. Picked up a couple of those. That'll be to up the outlet for the bilge pump. Keep that good kink in that, and those there just to tidy up some wiring. Now, last time I was down, I was going to put a tidy up on those, a little cable. I've got some larger cable outlet to go on there. That's still to do. I'm of two minds where I do that today and then fit the clip to keep everything nice and tidy and stop it vibrating away. It would probably make sense rather than leaving it to a later job which will never get done. The aim is to also get that cable up off the engine. I want to get the bilge pump wired in, but I can do that from this end here, albeit temporarily just on the automatic side of things. I don't need the switch at this stage, because obviously that's all going to go up there in my soon to be newly designed constructed meter box. So the other thing I need to do is get into the engine room. There's still a light in there that is functional. I disconnected it when I was trying to find a live feed for the bilge pump when we were out on the mooring to ensure that I had a working bilge pump. I need to take the circuit tester down there, work out which wire it is, which wire is hot, because there's two feeds down there, and get that sorted. Because I really want to get the floor down, not today, in the next day or two, because I'm sick of stepping over a bloody great hole. Right, my little electrical box of goodies. Nice and tidied up, so that's there. Let's get into the engine room and have a look. Now, one of those operated the engine room lights. Those are nav lights. One of those is for up there. So I'll turn them all on and we'll go down and do some testing. Just heading down, and that's pulled out of there. I probably need to go and get some new screws and get that screwed back in there. Don't really want that loose if I'm going down below there. You can imagine if I was underway for whatever reason, I needed to come down here, this side here. We've got a spinning shaft there. Things could be a bit dangerous. The fuel looks okay in there. Now, got this here, and again, those bloody electrical blocks. The other light that was on the other side, I can't get to work at all. I don't know what's wrong with it. I've thrown it out anyway. So the cable goes over there. Let's go and have a look. Right, there's the other end there, and I know that this was a live feed, so let's test that. Well, last time I tested this feed, I was lucky to get 3, 4 or 5 volts, and this is 12.45 with me just sort of holding it on there. Those are little electrical connectors, clips are quite rusty. There is a 12 volt drawer coming off the house bank, well, one of the house bank batteries, and that battery I tested with the voltmeter and found it to be sitting at about 0.7 volts. The main battery, the larger of the two, the deep cycle one, was sitting at about 14 volts. The main feed of the battery, that comes up from up there. We are looking at 3 volts. So we're only getting 3 volts. So that's 12.45 volts. So I know that that's live, and what I'm going to do is actually connect it properly with a proper connector to the other end. So make sure I just pull those apart. I don't want to blow a fuse. Nor do that there. This probably wasn't the brightest of things to have lying around. So, take some of that. A bigger length of that. Some of those, and bits and bobs down, and we'll go and get that sorted. I won't bother recording this. You've seen me do it before, and I'll show you the end result. Okay, nearly done. Let me go and see if we've got any power now. Yes, we have. Despite that block, despite the best efforts, so probably do actually need to do that up and get that directional, but certainly need some more lighting down here. I would actually like some lighting in each 4 corners. Big piece of shrink wrap over the top of the whole thing. Now let's get that shrinked up. Right, reason running out of there. That's good. I think that'll come apart again. Hurry. Probably what I should have done though was done some threading through there. That'll be the next job. Let's get that out of the way. A few nights later, out for my evening walk after dinner. Look at how flat that water is. Absolutely amazing. And it was like that as far as you could see out into the Queen Charlotte Sound. Doesn't that just make you wish that you were anchored up somewhere in a lovely bay with family and friends on board, barbecue going, few drinks, kids playing in the water. Absolutely amazing. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Picton's Northern Star Floaty Boaty thing. I've decided I'm going to start recording my episodes and making these and giving them a number, episodes 1 to whatever. It occurred to me the other day watching other episodes from other people that are recording their own journeys with their various holes in the ocean, that unless it's easy to go back and watch in order, looking for episode 1 to episode 10, a lot of people can't be bothered. Well, I can't be, let's be honest. So anyway, that's what I've decided to do, so I'm going to start assigning episode numbers. That became evident to me revisiting previous footage to try to find some interesting wee clips to insert into this episode. I also try to throw a critical lens over all of my previous footage to see how I can improve what I'm recording, how I'm recording it, how I'm producing it, and how it's appearing on YouTube for people to watch. As always, click, share, like and subscribe. The reality is, makes not a rat's ass worth of difference to me. I'm not sponsored by anybody. All I know is that apparently the mythical beastie called the algorithms will mean that the more likes and shares and subscribes that I have, the more people that are likely to have my footage and my channel recommended to them to watch. I really enjoy making these. I really enjoy trying to get each episode better and better, and I hope people will enjoy what I'm doing more and more as time goes on and I get better and more professional at doing what I'm doing. So anyway, see you next time, and thanks again for watching to the end. I consider it a privilege that you've watched to this point and you've watched my other episodes. Thank you, and take care out there. Get out there and do it before it does it to you.